Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys another old school album review, and today we're going to be talking about The Mind's Eye by Tranquillity, continuing their discography, the band's third album, released in 1997. Um, and this album, of course, follows up their previous album, The Gallery, which in my opinion was probably one of the best albums in melodic death metal or in the Gothenburg scene in general. And that was pretty much a great album, but this album was following up to it. I think this album is pretty good. And before this album came out, they released another EP called Enter Suicidal Angels, which I believe like one of the songs is actually included on here. In fact, there's like the version I have has the 3 bonus tracks, including one song that actually was on that EP, but they just threw it on there, which kind of considered filler, but I guess it's whatever, I suppose. So yeah, let's just dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Dream More Degenerate, which starts off really fast, has some great drumming, and then Mikkel's sort of like raspy, sort of like growls. And I feel like his voice is pretty much sounds really distorted in this song, and it sounds really cool. Well, and there's pretty much regular growls to be found in this song, especially around near 2 minutes and 44 seconds in. And then things start to slow down a little bit, especially in the Brits for like a few seconds before just insanity just breaks loose. And I think it's a very fast paced and really great way to start off this album. Next up is Zod. Bleh. If I butcher this, please slap me in the face. Zodiacal Light, which has a really great riff to start it off, and the riffing just continues as like the vocals come in, which are just screamed really, really fast. And about a minute and a half in, there's sort of like a great guitar solo, which isn't at all that fast, but then it just speeds up later. And the song closes with some weird distorted sounds, which I don't get, but I feel like it adds a lot of like atmosphere to the song and just this album. Next song on here is Hedon, which is I believe is in my opinion one of the epics on here, and this begins really weird for about 25 seconds as Mikkel whispers the words "Enter Suicidal Angels," which is the name of the EP that's included on here. It has some quieter vocals to give voice to some like great emotionally delivered verses, and around a minute and 45 seconds there's like a really cool guitar solo and then a really sick riff which is really catchy, and then Mikhail's vocals sort of like sing sort of like the somber burly, and then the end of the song there's some really great guitar work and it just ends with an insane scream. Next song is Scythe Rage in Roses, which is another fast song, and around 2.5 minutes in it sounds a lot like Dream More Degenerate, and it has some really great guitar work. Constant. Now this song opens up with some slow guitars and some heavy drums, and it gives way to some really great riff, and Mikhail's vocals come in, but I feel like it takes his time, and this is pretty much a slower song, which makes his screams I feel like a lot more deep and better heard. And another solo in the beginning of the song is here, but it's just really short, and this song really picks up the pace as well. Dissolution Factor Red. Now this is the shortest song on the album, and this song is really good even though it is short, and the riffing here is solid and some really fast song. It's just really fast. Next song on here is Insanity's Crescendo, which opens up with some soft acoustic work for about 30 seconds, and it gives way to some female vocals which sound really melancholic and sad, and this is pretty much the best song on the album, and this is pretty much an example of how Dark Tranquillity uses really great atmospheric songs, and I feel like lyrically it's pretty much a sad poem, and I just think this song is just really great, and I really love how the guitar is switching a pace a lot here, going from just melodic and just heavy as well. Um, Still Moving Sinews. Now this song is a pretty solid song with some great leads, but I don't know, it's just a decent song. Adam Hart 243.5, and I feel like this song has a bit more of the faster stuff, but I feel like it doesn't really just match the power that we had so far. Title Tantrum. Now this song has really mid-tempo melodic leads and then switching between clean and distorted guitars, which isn't bad on its own, but it just feels like it can get a little bit boring. Next song on the album is called Tongues, and this is pretty much linking things out. And this song is nearly 5 minutes long. It just has some changing riffs and just ferocious vocals of Mikkel. This song is like not is sort of mid paced, but I just feel like it suits the vocal styles solos from Mikkel, and this is pretty much has one of the best solos on this CD, and also this track, it just brings a lot of like refreshment into like the mix. And then we get to the title track, The Mind's Eye, which is just a little instrumental, which has some acoustic guitar, and I feel like this is actually like the first sign of keyboards, which would later foreshadow like stuff from like Projector or Haven. And but there's like some really great drumming and even some weird like garbled patches which aren't understandable. And this song is a pretty good song, and it's just a really great instrumental to come from Dark Tranquillity, and a fitting way to end sort of like the standard version. And of course, I have, like I said, a deluxe edition. It actually has some bonus tracks. And the 3 tracks are actually songs from the Enter Suicidal Angels EP that they put out a year prior. So we'll talk about that. We'll go into Archetype, or no, wait, Razor Fever. Sorry, I'm retarded. And Razor Fever kind of has like sort of like gallery-esque epic leads thrown in, and it's definitely sounds like could have been something like left over from it, or even like the Chaos and Eternal Night EP. And it just, I love like the aggression that really makes it a great song, and just the clean part in here just sounds really awesome. Shadowlit Facade, which I feel like it continues the strength. And this is pretty much a mid-paced ballad and type song on here, and I feel like I mentioned before, similar to Razor Fever, kind of like it came right from the gallery. But yeah, and that's probably, I don't know why it was put on the EP and not on like The Mind's Eye, which is weird. And then we close things out finally with Archetype. Now this song is totally different. It's just techno, straight up techno, with some like weird program beat and some weird synthy bass and programming track and samples of like Mikkel screaming from like earlier your stuff, which is just, I don't know. This song doesn't even feel like Dark Tranquillity. It's just a weird song. And overall, The Mind's Eye by Dark Tranquillity is a pretty good album. I do like this. If I were to give this album a score, I'm going to give The Mind's Eye probably a 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of The Mind's Eye by Dark Tranquillity, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.